What's going on, YouTube? It's Sensei, and a place to be chilling, Mr. A&D. Better give you guys another Raw review. Yes, I did promise to be up on camera, but right now we're recording this a little bit late, and we're going to get the podcast out, so I do apologize about me not being on camera about that. When I know I had promised this, I'm sorry, so bear with me. Hopefully by the midweek wrestling review that comes out usually on Thursdays, I'll be up there for you guys and on Smackdown. But in the meantime, we have Raw. This is the Clash of the Castle Fallout. And joining me is not Deion Sanders for Primetime.
What's up? What's up?
Yeah, you know, I forgot about you, didn't
you? Nah, not really.
So, yeah, we are here for the Clash of the Castle Fallout. We're going on the road to Extreme Rules, which is going to be up here at home around me in Philly, because, you know, Philly is the home of Extreme, ECW, and all that stuff like that. And this is a Triple H version of Extreme Rules. Right now, I already see some writing on the wall of where certain matches are going to, what matches we're going to probably get and stuff. So,
tell me what match the Street Profits is going to be in.
I will get to that frustration when I get there. So we start off, we start off with Edge. Edge comes out and he makes his way to the ring, gets the whole ovation and everything. And Edge says, "Look, Dominic Mysterio, he knows Dominic since he was 5 years old. Spent time with him in catering, and he said, Edge is someone who never grew up and gets along with him. He said, he's been like family when he go to San Diego and all that stuff like that." And then he says, "But now, you crossed the line." And he called Dominic out. And he said, "I want to know what's going on. The Spirit was in action a few weeks ago and all this other stuff that your dad been doing a few weeks ago, but then what the hell happened?" So he calls Dominic out, but Rey Mysterio comes out. It's like, "Look, Edge, I want you to calm down. I understand something. Look, he's still my son. And let me talk to him. I'm apologizing on his behalf." And he like, "Ray, your son is old enough to drink. Your son is old enough to do something else, and he's old enough to take take responsibilities for his own actions." So Ray kind of backed up. He called Dominic out, but then here comes Rhea Ripley. Ripley comes out on the stage, and then she's just sitting there.
Let me just say one thing about Rhea Ripley.
Yeah,
I did not see this segment. Didn't see this scene. Didn't see none of this, right?
Yeah.
But I did see Rhea Ripley was trending.
Ooh,
and all I see was the peach emoji, peach emoji, peach emoji. And I was like, oh. Yeah, Rhea is getting... she's going to be catching up to some people. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, she is. You know what I'm saying? But and she know it. She want to arch it. So she comes out there and says that, hold on. Y'all got what y'all got coming to him. And he says, you know what? Edge thought he could replace Dominic, and he didn't even matter. Ray thought he could protect Dominic because he's a baby boy. But guess what? Dominic's not a baby boy anymore. And he says, because I showed him the way. I was just like, uh-oh. And then here comes Dominic coming out, dressed all in black, got the mullet slicked all the way back, dyed it black and everything. And then he just comes out there.
That's the real thing to do, is cut the mullet.
What you say?
He should have just cut it.
Well, it goes with the whole Judgment Day look, be honest with you. With the slick back black hair. But he just walks out there. He doesn't say anything or anything. Rhea does all the talking for him. I thought like Rhea was going to slap him, because I thought that they was going to play on the joke like he loved getting beat up by Rhea. That would have been hilarious, but no. So as he's standing there, Rhea says that Edge is it's past your time for your Judgment Day, and they start making their way to the ring. Ray gets out. He just talk to him. He not even looking at him. And then he tries to walk back, and then Dominic ain't going with him. And then Rhea hits Mysterio front. Oh, sorry.
Y'all ain't stupid.
I'm getting ahead of myself, because Balor and Priest attack Edge in the ring, and they give him a coup de grace with the chair on his leg. So Edge gonna be written off for a couple of weeks. So, but then
he's supposed to have the match next week.
Say what? Oh, that's right. He has that match next week. So when Mysterio tries to come back down, Dominic blocks him and then Rhea hits him and he tosses him to the steel steps. So then Dominic has made his choice. He blocks Edge also to help out with the assault on his leg. So that's how the opening segment goes. Dom is part of Judgment Day, but he's not talking yet. I'm like, I don't know if he can still cut that heel promo. There's times where he looks cool, but there's times where he looks weird, just being with them or just being heel.
When you said, when you a heel, you got to make that heel promo. Yeah, Dom is not making that heel life-changing promo. That's not Dom. So
no,
Rhea's gonna probably be his mouthpiece.
Which I don't have a problem with, to be honest with you. I don't have a problem with that. Miz and Ciampa are walking in, and they're talking about what happened last Monday.
Wait, who?
Miz and Ciampa.
Who?
Tommaso Ciampa.
Yeah, he got his name back.
Miz and Tommaso Ciampa are walking back, and then they talked about what happened last week, but he talked about he don't want to talk about that. He has a cage match for the United States Championship against Bobby Lashley, but for some reason, there's a car overturned in the parking lot. So as they walk on. Now we get to a number one contender's fatal four-way matchup to determine who's going to face the Usos. And at first...
Wait.
Go ahead.
Is the car turning over what we think it is, or is it the person that just returned?
It's at first, I thought it was a Dexter Lumis thing, but it really was a hint for the person who just returned.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. At first, I was like, "Is this another Dexter Lumis thing?" But I was like, "No, this is for the person who just returned," which we're about to get into. There's no more contenders match for the Fatal 4-Way. The New Day taking on the Alpha Academy, taking on Los Lotharios, taking on the Street Profits. I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I don't like this call, Triple H, because I was sitting there thinking, like, why the hell are these the tag teams that's getting a shot? Because I'm like, New Day just got their ass by the Viking Raiders on Friday. And then I'm saying to myself, just like Prom illustrated to me, the Street Profits just been sticking themselves in any situation like, you need help. Well, there it goes. They come out here, and I'm sitting there thinking like, well, because they both lost to Seth Rollins, and I'm just sitting there like, we don't know what the heck is going on with the Street Profits. Alpha Academy just got their ass whooped by the Street Profits, and then Los Lotharios is sitting there trying to get into M&M, and I'm just sitting like, what the fuck is going on? Like, these are the tag teams y'all got? I'm like, well, there's no Viking Raiders, there's no Hit Row. And I'm not sitting there saying Hit Row got to win. I'm just saying this to be a tag team that's been winning, to be in a chance and opportunity for storyline purposes. Well, they have about a 10-minute match before Montez Ford hits a huge fog splash on Otis, and as he recoils or bounces up, Chad Gable catches him in an ankle lock. And he's telling him to tap, but then all of a sudden, Braun Strowman's music hits. The old roar. And he comes down looking jacked and everything. He comes down, and he comes in and beat the shit out of everybody. Nobody would say he choke slammed Chad Gable. He sit there and knocked out Angel Garza. He pushed him under the Carrillo. He knocked Otis to the outside. He knocked Otis through the barricade wall where he was running. I think he tripped, but they didn't show up on TV because he just returned. He also power slammed Angelo Dawkins through the announce table. So there's a lot of things that he was doing.
You know who he didn't touch though, because he knew better.
Who?
Montez.
Is there some beef that I don't know about?
No, I'm just saying he didn't touch Montez. That's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but he did fall. I did see that.
Oh, so he did slip?
Yes.
Okay, I was like, he disappeared, and all of a sudden I was like, did he slip or did he knock somebody down? I'm just like, somebody caught that. I know they did. I gotta find it on the internet, but I know somebody caught it.
Yeah, he slipped. At first they tried to make it seem like he hit Gable, but Gable was like not close to him at all, and he just was like, he just tripped. So,
oh, welcome back, bro. So that he after that he goes in the ring, starts doing Hogan a little bit, like, yeah, you hear me, I'm back. Yeah, bro, you're back. I know you happy and hype, and he's the monster. I mean, he's probably gonna be booked better. Too much. You're gonna give him another chance. So first, because like I said, ain't nobody want to be part of CYN in the first place, and he all that she talked about indie stars, and it's like, yeah, he definitely want to come back to where he think he belong. That's WWE. So, all right. But it was a no contest. So I was like, okay, that makes sense now because the tag teams that are strong right now, that you have been building back up, you don't want them to get destroyed by Braun Strowman. I get it now because I was like, just a regular match for number contenders, this don't make no sense because none of these teams have been winning, but the ones that have been winning ain't in the match. But I see why now for them to get their ass beat by Braun Strowman. So cool, kudos. As you come back, Braun Strowman's trying to leave, and the camera he says don't worry. He gets the monster's back, and he said nobody is safe. I'll see you on SmackDown. So you can go down on SmackDown and flip some more shit. Then we have a non-title match, the Women's Tag Team Championships. Raquel Rodriguez and the lead taking on Nikki Ash and Doudrop. This is really nothing, to be honest with you. And they you have Damage Control just watching in the back. What the hell? Oh God, really? Okay, and so Rodriguez grabs Doudrop off the ropes and gives her the power bomb for the victory. So it is what it is. They retained the tag team titles. So next week it's going to be Damage Control getting a rematch and want to take the titles off of them, which I think they probably are.
Or this could be where we get something that good that happens. We don't know yet.
I kind of hope, but I'm like, right now they got too many people coming in on Raw. Like, what's going on with SmackDown? Like, we need some people on SmackDown. You know what I'm saying?
They are building next week's Raw for like a big show apparently. Even though it's in a regular area, it's like they set up like 5 or 6 matches for next week.
Well, we'll go down them because we do know we got Edge and Mysterio, Dominic Mysterio next week. Shara Stryber catches up with Rey Mysterio. Rey says that he had a word in private with his son. Judgment Day has been tearing his life apart, taking his son away. Took out Edge, who was like family to him. Rey will never lay hands on his son, but Judgment Day deserves to get their asses beat. So he said he either wants Finn Balor or Damian Priest tonight. They can figure out who. Austin Theory makes his way to the ring. The crowd is booing, and he's still kind of holding his jaw after he got punched by Tyson Fury. And Austin Theory says that things didn't go as planned on Saturday, but Crown Jewel was an absolute success. Crown Jewel, is that what he's saying right there? Oh no, he says, this is just kidding because it's Clash of the Castle. And the crowd is just all yelling at him and stuff like that. And then he says that Roman Reigns is still the champion, but he's actually glad he is. For one, Drew McIntyre completely embarrassed himself in front of his friends and family. And then Thurs told Roman we have unfinished business. And then Kevin Owens' music hits. And he's on the stage looking perplexed like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And then he says, yo, what's wrong with your jaw, bro? He says, oh, that's right, you got knocked the fuck out. Chelsea, he didn't say the F word, obviously. He said, but then you got KO chance is tapping it. So he said, but now Owens like, I can call you Austin now. And Owens, he said, despite arrogant and delusional people in this industry, we've had some arrogant delusional people in WWE. But currently, Theory's at the top of that list. A great example of how delusional he is Theory complained about Tyson Fury. If he didn't do that Clash of the Castle, which is the name of the show, he would have been buried by Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre. Dead serious. So Theory says Owens is jealous, and then now they basically said we're going to have a match right here. And it's Austin Theory versus Kevin Owens. This was actually a really good matchup. It got some time. Theory and Kevin Owens are really great. There was one part in this matchup. I do not know if you've seen this matchup or not, but bruh.
I seen the one spot that you're probably about to mention.
Bruh, I never seen that shit before. I actually got scared for a minute. And I'm just like, because I never seen that before. I know there's
we've seen it, but not to that extent.
Yeah, I'm like, because they do.
That's a Mick Foley spot.
That's I'm about to say that was an indie spot that I missed, but they're on the outside, and then Kevin Owens is right there at the bottom steel steps. Now this is the part that you walk up on. Theory takes Kevin Owens' head and slams it back on that part of the steps. Never seen that before, and I was just like, yo. Like, I don't even know how you catch yourself to prepare for that. Because so many things can go wrong when you do something like that. It's kind of like, remember when Jeff Hardy in TNA was on the top of the cage door, and he fell the cage door and fell on top of the steel steps?
That was his fault.
Yeah.
Why are you on top of an open cage door?
I agree with what I'm saying, but that was one of the spots when I heard about it. I was like, he fell on top of the steps. I was like, I ain't never seen that before. So, you know.
I can understand if he fell on accident too. That's what makes it funnier. Because why are you doing that and then see, look what happened because you're doing stupid stuff, Jeff?
Yeah. So they about to count Kevin Owens out, but he comes back into the ring, and then Theory tries to cap out Kevin Owens, but Kevin Owens kicks out after Theory hits I forgot what was it, either a clothesline or something. I know he'll go for his finishing move, but Owens kicks out. Also, Owens he tries to put Owens for a superplex, but Owens reverses it into that little cradle style fisherman buster that he does from the top rope. That was cool. And then Owens we had like 2 picture-in-picture commercial breaks. And then he gets on his feet. The crowd comes to his feet. Owens goes and sends Theory to the ropes. Pop-up powerbomb. And he was about to pin him, but he's like, no, I'm not done with you yet. Picks him up and hits a stunner. And then covers him. 1, 2, 3. And then Owens wins the matchup. It was a good match. I think this is probably one of the best matches of the night, if not the best match of the night.
I can see that.
But just the text. Somebody put in Twitter like just the text. Owens stuns or gives the stunner to Austin. It's just like it just is. It's 97 all over again. So Kevin Owens wins that matchup. He's been doing great for the past few weeks. Like Kevin Owens he has built himself back to a legit player in the past 3 weeks.
Yeah, now all I gotta do is use him.
Yeah, like it's something to me. I do think that him and Sammy get back together because I think they're the ones who are going to take these belts off the Usos. And it may be I'm shooting now. At first I thought it was going to be Extreme Rules. I'm like, but I think it's going to be Crown Jewel. But they always got a Saudi Arabia. Oh, that's right. Sammy can't go there.
Yeah, you man to get murdered on site.
Yeah. So yeah, he can't do. You're right. Damage Control's walking back. The Miz is out. Is talking about he who should not be named, but he faced Bobby Lashley. Still, case he's going to be the new United States champion. Meanwhile, Damage Control is walking outside, and they come. First of all, I like how it's called Damage. They got the CTRL, like the computer for control. I like that. So they made their way to the ring, Ding Dong Idiots, and they basically talk about how they won at Clash of the Castle. Sky speaks Japanese, and she says she will be taking the women's section titles, and Kai says she wasn't legal last week. Raquel and League can pretend to be champions for another week until the tape was rightfully theirs. So meanwhile, Bayley says they preserve through that unfair decision, and she pinned Bianca Belair, and Bayley is the first person to pin Belair in almost 300 days. Well, here comes Bianca Belair. She comes out and she says, "Look, you got the best of me in Clash of the Castle, but what we can do is put the pride aside and have a match, tonight, the usual shit, for it's Labor Day, and so she not working it. Her Bayley says Labor Day. I'm not working today. Great line. I love that. Because Belair says, Bayley might have her little minions, but she doesn't have the gold, and unless it's 1-on-1 and unless she got this title, Bayley is in control of nothing. So Bayley gets a little pissed off by that, and then says, you act like you've been a little bit Miss Perfect for a long time. You're fragile. You can't handle one loss. Just one loss it was. And she says, well, she got better things to do, like her girls win the tag team titles next week. And she says, but if she wants that title, she'll get it one way or another. Well, she pointed at both her girls that was moving in front of her. So, I thought it was solid. Obviously, it's going to set up a Bianca Belair taking on Bayley matchup.
That was a good segment.
Say what?
I think it was a good segment.
Yeah. I don't know what the match is going to be. Damage control. And I don't know how long Bianca's going to hold to that championship, to be honest with you. But right now, she's been holding it for almost over a year now, right? No. She won it back at WrestleMania.
Yeah, she won that Mania. She just kind of won it. So we'll see how they try to frame it.
Okay, Cheryl Schreiber asks Gargano about Austin Theory's comments. Austin Theory comes back there and said, well, you should be called Johnny, Johnny Talking and not Johnny Wrestling. He's like, Theory, you're 100% correct. Because the first time in 9 months, next week, I'm going to be in action. So Gargano's going to be in action. Rey Mysterio takes on Damian Priest. Actually, I thought this was a solid matchup. And then all of a sudden, Judgment Day surrounds the ring, and as to speed all this whole thing up, Ray tries to go for 619, but Don gets up on the apron and blocks him, and then Priest lays Mysterio out with this lariat, then gives him a deadlift south from heaven, and then wins the matchup. So Damian Priest wins, and then Dom was just sitting there looking at his dad. Do you think they're gonna build this thing up to Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, or you think they're gonna try to go to WrestleMania with this?
I mean, Triple H is the 225 man, but unless they do an angle where they injure Rey Mysterio and he's out for a few months, I don't think they can push it to WrestleMania.
Yeah, I was excited to say that. I was like, bro, that's a long way to push it, but they got to kind of write him off for a little bit.
Yeah, so now if they do something where they write him off and he's injured and he comes back at the Rumble or something, then yes, I see they can do that.
Yeah. So then we do all the Bronson stuff. They show a clip of Riddle being disappointed, bro, about how the things ended after the matchup, and then talk to Ron how he felt he cracking up. So they definitely go running back at Extreme Rules. So we got the United States Championship steel cage match. Bobby Lashley taking on The Miz. So Miz comes in, and then when Bobby comes in, he gives the belt to the referee. Miz snatches the belt, hits Bobby in the back of the head with the title belt, and they throw him outside the cage, and him and Tommaso Ciampa beat him down. They lock his arm inside the ring post and hit it with the steel steps, and then they take a steel chair and hit his arm with a steel chair while he's laying on the ground. So it weakens him up a lot, and he can't use the one arm, which he can't lock in the hurt lock. So that's the story of the matchup. But meanwhile, even with that still happening, Lashley is still beating the shit out of Miz's ass with one arm. Like, he throwing him into the cage, he's sitting there just beating his ass, and it's really making Bobby look strong with his one arm kicking the Miz's ass.
It is the Miz as well, so it's like the Miz is smart, yes, but Bobby Lashley is brute force over the Miz. So.
Exactly. So that's the concept of it. Even when Bobby tries to get out the cage, Ciampa's on the outside smacking his knees with the steel steps, or he tries to get out the door, and then Ciampa kind of throws it in his face. So Bobby is like, he just can't do, it's like 2-on-1, and he can't do it by himself. So Bobby tries to go for a spear. Miz gets out the way, and he slams right into the cage mesh. Then he gets skull crusher finale. He tries to cover him, but then Bobby kicks out of that. Bobby takes down the Miz, and then he tries to go for the door. Ciampa tries to push the door, but Bobby catches it and pushes it back on Ciampa. But then the Miz catches Bobby and brings him back in, start beating him up some more, and then the Miz. I thought this was great. The Miz takes the door and starts smashing Bobby's head with it over and over again. Bobby's there. So Miz goes to the top of the cage to come down. He's about to walk down, and I'm telling you, they give the. This was a new camera angle, so thank you, Kevin, enough for this. It was a bird's eye view, and as Miz is looking down, Dexter Lumis is halfway from underneath the ring, just looking up at him. Creepy shit.
It's with a straight face too.
With a straight face, it's like, and the way the camera angle is like he's there, with the bird's eye view. So you just see Miz looking down. You just see this guy laying underneath the ring, halfway, just staring at him, and it's weird. And so Dexter Lumis gets up, Miz crawls back into the ring, and then he turns around. Bobby hits a spear. Bobby wins the match. So Bobby leaves the cage. So now Dexter Lumis starts to climb into the cage. But Miz tries to get out, but then Bobby closes the door right on the Miz and holds it. So the Miz can't get out. And then Dexter Lumis goes and gives him his sleeper choke, the sleeper submission he has, and puts Miz to sleep. And that's how they ended Raw. I was like, I like that camera cut. I really did. Even though, like, for a steel cage matchup, this is still pretty good for Bobby, even only having one arm. Theory and Kevin Owens was the match of the night for me, obviously. And then Mysterio and Priest had a good matchup also. And I enjoy Dominic going heel and Braun Strowman returning and destroying everybody in his path.
Okay. So we missed one part because this. I remember I did hear Rhea cut a promo, and she was like, "You know what? I made Dominic into a man, so he's gonna listen to me because I show him things he never seen before." And I was like, "Are they alluding to Rhea smash Dominic?" Like
that's kind of scared me for a minute too, but that would be kind of cool though.
I mean, they are the same age, but still, it's like, are they alluding to that? Because obviously, Rhea had her legs wrapped around Dominic for the past few weeks. Are we trying to say that Rhea smashed Dominic, and now that's why he's a man? That's why he's healed, because he's listening to her because she made him a man. Is that what they're trying to say here?
I'm going to say yes.
Because she referred to herself as Poppy.
She did. She did. I'm glad you brought that up. She definitely did. But I don't know, but you know what? I'm getting more in, because at first I was kind of over the Judgment Day storyline, but now I'm getting more into it. I'm saying I see where the end game is going to be at now, how Dom fits into all this, and how can he work a match as a heel. That's the one thing I want to hear, because he's about to go in there with Edge, seasoned veteran. So you don't want to fuck this up, kid. But I'm gonna
mess it up. He gonna be in there like John Cena.
Hip toss, shoulder block. Shuffle. You can't see me. Oh man, call it up spots, boy. I tell you. But yeah, so I give Raw a thumbs up this week.
Yeah, I heard it was a solid show this week.
Yeah, for the return that it had, and then how it was booked. Like I said, the match is getting time, especially that Owens versus Austin Theory matchup. So post any comments down below. How you guys feel about Raw? Hit the like button if you guys enjoyed my review of it, and hit the subscribe button for more right here on more wrestling right here on NC Studios. Once again, it's NC in the place to be chilling, Mr. A&D, and not Deion Sanders for prime time.
All right, people.
All right, and the Nerd Coalition is out.